Manifesting a lottery win. This is my story of how I manifested a lottery win, a big lottery win. I'm writing this in so much detail so that you can manifest your own win too. So you can feel what I felt at the time, and so you can really feel every part of the winning process. I'm now convinced that listening to this passage each night as you fall asleep will yield the same results for anyone else. At least anyone that can truly believe they've won. I had to achieve this alone, with just my imagination, and this was the hardest part. Unless you have a truly vivid imagination and the ability to concentrate without your mind wandering off on a tangent, you'll need this track to keep you in the zone, to keep you there long enough to actually feel you are a millionaire each day as you wake. It doesn't happen at once. It may take several weeks of repeated listening before it starts to become real. But after only a few days, you'll start to notice little signs that the universe is changing for you, changing as you change yourself. These little signs will start to appear, particularly the signs show up serendipitously when you're not looking for them. But once you notice them, it'll start to make you more and more sure, more certain that this is you. You are the millionaire. Now this is how it happened for me, exactly as I pictured it, down to the last quiet detail. You see, I could dream about winning the lottery easily enough, but I couldn't live it inside myself. I couldn't step into the experience and feel it as if it were already real. And without that feeling, it's almost impossible to then be that person. And being that person is the only way to manifest. Dreaming isn't manifesting. Believing and feeling is manifesting. As you will no doubt already heard, you have to be. You have to be in order to align with the world where you are already the rich version of you. This world exists, and it exists now. Not in the future, now. You just need to do as I did and claim it. So this is how I did it. The reality begins from my perspective. But to help you slip into it, I'll gently let it turn toward you. If it's done properly, it'll feel so natural you won't even notice the moment it happens. All you need to do is this. Close your eyes and relax while I take you through my experiences. Let yourself stand where I stood. Try to feel what I feel now what I'm feeling every day now. Picture every small detail, even the tiny ones, because those are the ones that make it real. Let it carry you into sleep, feeling as if you're already a multi-millionaire. Then, when you wake, something in you will be slightly different. Listening to this night after night will build that state until, day by day, you're living as the person who already has the money. That's when the universe shifts to meet you at your frequency. It will happen. Just trust the universe. This is my experience, my life told across 3 days. Even before I won, I decided not to tell anyone about my win. So after the first bright rush of joy, the next feeling that stayed with me was calmness. Deep, steady calmness. Then, as those days unfolded, I felt a quiet, incredible stillness settle over me. A sense of relief, if truth be told. A soft warmth rising from my core to the crown of my head, but above all, a feeling of calmness. When I look back on those days now, I realise that calmness isn't what most people expect from such wild luck, such fortune. Surely I should have been dancing around the house shouting, "Oh God, oh my God," like they do in the adverts. But no, for me it was calmness and a firm, gentle certainty that everything was now going to be all right. And looking back, I understand why my body was so calm, why my mind didn't buckle under the shock, why nothing in me felt frantic or out of control. It's because this wasn't the first time I'd experienced this win. This wasn't new to me. I'd been here before. Manifestation is the art of being who you want to be. Not wishing you were somebody else, but becoming them inside yourself. I found the best way to step into the role of a lottery winner was to immerse myself in it, to live that life in my mind and body, to feel as clearly as possible what the world is like when you've won the jackpot. I've always slept well, even when times were hard and I was the only breadwinner in the household. I remember interest rates shot up to 12%. Unemployment was rife and I was carrying a family of 4, felt like on my shoulders. Despite all of those daily worries and the little conflicts that seemed to turn up like clockwork, despite the pressures piling in from every side, each one wanting a piece of me, I could still switch the noise off and drift away. In fact, the bigger the pressure got, the more my bed became my one true safe place. Warm, undisturbed. Phone off. Emails silent. The world held at the doorway, just me and my breathing. I can feel my breath filling my lungs, widening my ribs, gently lifting my abdomen. You can too. Listen to your own breathing. Breathing in through my nose, out through my mouth, slowly. I count to 10 before I exhale, and then I let myself have at least 10 quiet cycles before I think about anything else. Just concentrate on your breathing. Block out everything else. Just for a while. It's not hard. I count them. In. Hold. Out. That's 2. In. Hold. Out. That's 3. By the time I reach 4, my body has started to soften. I focus on the relaxation in my toes first, coaxing them into heaviness. Then I move up my body, my feet, my legs, letting that weight travel slowly upwards, inch by inch, all the way to the crown of my head. I especially remember to unclench my jaw. That's the last hiding place for tension, there and in my neck. But now the feeling of relaxation, warmth and heaviness has reached the top of my head. I can feel sleep on its way. It's fine. But I still remember. I remember the day I actually remembered to play the lottery. You see, most weeks I'd forget. It's funny, isn't it? You can carry a dream of winning the lottery for years and still not remember to buy the ticket. But this day I did. It's not that I've never entered the draw. I've actually got an online account and I tend to use my favourite numbers. The ones I've carried for years. The ones I trust. But so often, by the time evening comes, I'm smothered by the day's events and it slips my mind. But this day I did remember. I'm not sure why. It might have been something simple, an advert flashing on the telly, a mention on the radio, a small nudge that landed at the right moment. Well, today I remembered. I have an app on my phone to play the lottery. I tap it and it opens up in those bright, cheerful colours. They always look a little too optimistic for real life. I press the yellow box to play and it asks me to sign in. I tap sign in. The phone takes one quick look at my face and I'm in. The app invites me to play again and I accept. My numbers are already saved. All I need to do is tick the lines I want, then press pay. As usual, I don't have enough money in my lottery account, so up pops the polite little prompt to top up the balance. I accept, and the bank card I've got lodged there is debited with my £5 payment to Allwyn. Allwyn is the company that runs the lottery. The app tells me I'm in the draw and offers to save my ticket so I can check it later. I accept. Now, I don't remember feeling especially lucky that day. After all, it was a day like any other. And the day like any other had passed the way all the others had before it. I've tried to pin it down since. What was I doing when I won the lottery? I mean, the exact moment those numbers dropped into place. What was I doing? Honestly, I don't know for certain. I've rummaged around in my memory for it, but it's blank. I could have been eating down the pub, half watching something on TV or washing up, anything. They used to televise the draw itself, but these days I don't think they bother much. So most people just carry on with their evening, completely unaware that their dream has either died or come true. It's a strange thought. Really, for a while, I was a multi-millionaire and didn't even realise it. Science can argue, and it argues well, that we're all millionaires in one timeline or another. But you don't see that version of you until you start to be them. Right now, at this time, you are living in the moment. Yesterday will never come back. It's gone. Tomorrow hasn't arrived. It doesn't exist yet. All you have is now. The simple breathing now. Because in your thoughts, you can be anywhere. You can be anyone. But it's still only now. It's funny that despite all the technology Allwyn has at their fingertips, it still took them a good 12 hours to get in touch by email. When you played Lotto online, you've already given them your contact information, your email, your card, your phone number. They're all neatly logged away in their system. When you wake up, you don't always rush to your emails. Mornings have their own slow rhythm. But the gentle ping of a text cuts through as you're taking your first cup of coffee. That first warm, slightly bitter sip that brings you properly into the day. You don't read or answer emails straight away, but texts feel different. They're sharper, more urgent, I guess. They jump the queue in your attention. And this one is from Allwyn. For a second, you have to remind yourself who the hell Allwyn even is. then it lands. Haha, it's the lottery. It's the one text that you've now kept on your phone ever since. Like a pressed flower from the moment everything changed. The text reads, "You should check your emails. You've won a prize." Well, it's easy enough, just another app. You open your inbox and sure enough, there's an email from Allwyn sitting there amongst 5 others. You ignore the other 4 and tap the lottery one. All this is happening without saying a word to anyone around you. At this time of day, it's perfectly normal for you to be fiddling with your phone, half in your own world, so nobody even looks up. The usual morning melee carries on. Clattering, talking, questions flying here and there. But for you, it's as if someone has turned the sound down. Everything around you goes quiet, muffled. You can still see the movement going on, the bustle, the little dramas of the morning, but your ears seem to have chosen, almost on their own, to shut the door. People are speaking to you right near you, and you don't hear a thing. Your lips move as you read like a child reading a favourite poem. You want to take each line in properly, each line in order. But your eyes keep leaping ahead, hunting for the bit that says you're a winner. So you force yourself back, like taking a metaphorical step away, and you read again. Yes, it's an email. Yes, it's addressed to you. Yes, check again. That's your email address, your name, plain as day. Still, world stays silent. The email says that Allwyn and all official lottery emails will never ask you for your bank details or anything personal by email, so this doesn't look like a scam. You sit with it for a beat, satisfy yourself it's real, and as you do, your heart kicks up hard enough that you can hear it in your chest. A thick, fast thudding. Yet everything else still feels hushed, distant. You steady yourself and read on. You're encouraged to call the lottery claim line as soon as possible. You try to make a note of the number, but it slips straight out of your head. You start to think you've won something proper. They don't tell you to ring them for a tenner. Then you remember, you entered online. Just check the ticket. Why didn't I do that before? The lottery app is still sitting open on your phone from yesterday. The moment you tap the icon, it springs to life, opening exactly where you left it. Your ticket's there. Your numbers lined up neatly. There's a message waiting in your inbox too, but your eyes are pulled to the underlined link. Check your results. You tap that one. And there they are. Your numbers. Each one circled. Each one a match. One after another, all 7. It's a jackpot win. 2 more taps and you see it. Oh, only one UK winner. Now you know it's you. You should call the number. Go on, call it. It's still early and you tell yourself the office won't be open yet. Besides, your hearing seems to be flicked back on now and someone's asking you about their shoes and what time are we leaving today. You answer calmly enough as you always would. Your voice is steady, your face giving nothing away. And here comes the calm again. Why? Because this feels like a dream. But more than that, it feels like déjà vu. Like stepping into a room you visited many times before. You've been here, you know what to do. The calmness soaks over you like a warm shower, spreading through your skin, into your muscles, right into your bones. But minutes pass in a blur. Breakfast moved along like it always does, and then it seems like the next minute you're finally alone in the shower. That warm feeling from earlier has grown stronger now, so you reach for the dial and turn the water up to the hottest you could stand. You breathe deeply with the water pouring over your shoulders and down your back. You feel only 2 things: relief and calmness. You stay longer in the shower today. It feels like a small kindness to yourself. You think of all the mornings you rushed, all the times you tried to save the hot water, to save the pennies, to save the energy, as if any of it could really hold the tide back. The futility of old worries and old conversations, old tight little fears come flooding back. Why was I worried? Why did I let those days get chewed up by stress and dark thoughts? How much life have I been half living? You decide your new life starts here. You decide to tell no one until you know all the facts. You've had to rearrange a few things this morning to make this moment happen, this quiet pocket of time where nobody's watching you and nobody's asking questions. Time to call that number. Time to call when no one else knows what you're about to do. Feel the confidence and excitement that's shooting through you, quick and bright. Notice how everything you're looking at seems sharper, colours cleaner, edges clearer, every sound a little crisper. You can smell everything, even the trace of breakfast from earlier. You've never done drugs, but you find yourself thinking, maybe this is what a big hit would feel like. More time passes and you still haven't called, not because you don't believe it now, you do, but you want every detail straight in your head first, so you go back over the text, the email, the app again, slowly, carefully, as if rereading it might help your body to catch up with what your mind already knows. It's time to make that call. It's gone 9 now. You tell yourself the office will be open. You dial the number and you hold the phone to your ear as it rings and rings, far longer than you expect. This is the winner's line, isn't it? For a moment, you're half tempted to hang up and check you've tapped the right digits, when suddenly someone answers. A woman's voice, calm and practiced, gives you her name and thanks you for calling the lottery claim line. She asks your name and why you're calling. Even saying the words feels surreal. You hear yourself explain quietly, almost politely, that you think you've won. At this stage, the lady, whose name slips out of your mind the second she says it, checks 3 vital bits of information with you. Just 3. Then there's a pause, small but heavy, and she says, "Congratulations. Based on what you've told me today, you are a winner." Then, softly, almost like she's offering you a glass of water, "Would you like to know how much you've won?" She reads out a number, a very large number. And she includes all the final pounds and pence. For a split second you find that quite funny. The neatness of it, the precision, as if the pennies matter now. Then you remember £2,400 and 29 pence is a lot of money. Or at least it was yesterday. The next few minutes sweep you into a process that's smooth, well rehearsed, almost ordinary. It feels oddly like setting up a direct debit for the gas bill. Simple questions, clear answers, everything ticking along. And then she asks you when you'll be free for a visit to your home. You stumble over your words. Your mind flashes instantly to the neighbours, the street, the idea of a car pulling up with curtains twitching. As you fumble, the polite but very efficient lady offers another option. You can come to their headquarters in Watford instead. Oh, that feels safer, cleaner, yours to control. And funnily enough, that's your main concern right now, control. Not greed, not fireworks, just staying steady at the wheel. You agree on a time to visit the Allwyn offices tomorrow. You thank her and end the call. The moment the line goes dead, you let out a long, deep sigh, the kind that empties you out. Then an almost involuntary little shout breaks loose inside. Yes, yes, yes. You feel your ears go hot as blood rushes up to your face. You throw your arms to the ceiling in one huge, hungry stretch. It lasts a few seconds, but it feels amazing. That loose waking stretch you do when you've slept for 12 hours and your body is soft as dough. Your face almost spasms with it. Your hearing drops away again while you stretch. The world muffling like you've dipped under water. And then the calmness comes back like a tide returning. Under the circumstances, you decide to take the rest of the morning for yourself, just to think. You end up in the car, driving without any real plan, and you start noticing things you've never noticed before, little things like the stain on the passenger seat where the McDonald's ice cream leaked through the bag last summer, half eaten, melting as you drove. And bigger things too, houses, cars, whole lives passing by, and you catch yourself thinking, almost casually, I could buy that if I wanted. But you don't want it. It's not even big enough. Not for who you're becoming. Over the next few hours, you build a dozen versions of the day ahead, then scrap them, then build them again. You want to tell everyone, but you don't want people to look at you differently. You want to buy everything, but you don't want to turn into someone showy, someone you don't recognize. You definitely want to help others, but you don't want to steamroller their lives with your good intentions. And very quickly, you realize something that surprises you. Winning the lottery is only part of the job. The harder part is living with it well, spending it without wrecking your own life, changing other people's lives without stealing their choices from them. Still you plan, then you drop the plan, then you plan again, circling it like a puzzle that you're not ready to solve. As the hours pass, the urge to share your news quietly fades. Not out of selfishness, not at all. Right now you could give away huge chunks of money with a light heart. It's easy to feel generous at this stage. What you're really wondering is how to pull the good from all of this without dragging pain in behind it. Think of someone you love dearly, maybe your children. You hate seeing them struggle with mortgages, watching them grind through day-to-day life, but that's their life, the one they built brick by brick. They're proud of it. They're happy in it. What right do you have to change it permanently with one sweep of your hand? What right do you have to assume your money will make them feel freer, when it might also make them feel smaller? What does it do to a proud person with their own dreams and their own path if you suddenly drop a fortune in their lap? Your mind goes to your friends. How could you possibly decide what to give each one of them? How would it feel if you gave one friend something large, another something smaller, and another nothing at all? How would they read it? These choices feel impossible. So you make a vow quietly to yourself. You'll tell no one, not yet. You plan the journey to the Allwyn headquarters in Watford meticulously. Almost as if you were late, they'd hand your prize to somebody else and shrug. You decide to go by train, and you pick the earliest one with the shortest travel time, as though the timetable itself might tilt fate one way or the other. You tell people you've got a vague appointment in London that day and nobody asks for details. To them it's just another Wednesday, another tick on the calendar. To you, it feels like you're walking around inside a different world, one that still hasn't quite revealed what it is. You drive yourself to your local train station and look for somewhere to park. It's still morning rush hour in your town. The road's busy and impatient. That faint tang of exhaust hanging in the cold air. So you circle carefully for a good spot. Then it hits you. It doesn't really matter. You could choose the most expensive space right by the entrance. You could even leave the car on a yellow line if you fancied. By the time you're back, you'll be able to afford whatever executive parking permit they slap on your windscreen. Or abandon this old car completely and buy a new one without thinking twice. You double check you've got all the documents they asked for, and you bring a few extra too, just in case. Orwin wants to see photographic proof of identity, plus some non-photographic proof like a birth certificate, proof of address, proof of your right to live in the UK. You've collated everything into one bag, neat and over-prepared, and off you go. The ticket machine in the lobby is free, bright screen waiting, whilst queues build at the desk and tills. You've not been to Watford by train before, well, at least not for a long time, so you decide to queue and ask the salesperson for the best ticket. And this is when you start noticing people in a way you've never used to. You study the backs of coats, the way someone taps their foot, the impatient little sighs, the tired eyes. You find yourself curious about the people ahead of you. How much money do they have? They don't know you're a millionaire. You don't look like one. What does a millionaire even look like? And the Ghanaian lady behind the glass selling tickets with a quick, practised hand. What does she earn doing a job like that? Life must be hard for her. All of this, half nonsense, half wonder, runs through your mind. You notice you're comparing your life to other lives in a way you never did before. Like your mind has quietly switched lenses. You buy a day return ticket even though you haven't decided how you're coming back. The train will be here soon. You walk down the platform with a little trot in your step, trying not to look like somebody who's about to change their life forever. The platform is crowded. Breath hangs faintly in the air. Coats rub. Someone's perfume cuts through the damp smell of concrete and rain. You manoeuvre towards the front, and when the train arrives with a low metallic screech, you slip inside and find a window seat. Now imagine how you feel. This is the last leg of a journey towards unimaginable wealth. As the sun flares in through the glass and briefly blinds you, you get a shiver of anticipation that runs up your spine. Normally you'd relax on a train, maybe even doze off, letting the rhythm take you. But today you keep telling yourself to stay alert. Somebody could steal your bag. You could miss your stop. You know, the thoughts are mad, but they keep coming anyway. You keep telling yourself to relax. You can't. Arriving in Watford, you step off the train and make your way up the stairs to the main concourse. The sound shifts, announcements echoing, rolling suitcases, people in a hurry. You head for the exit. The ticket barriers sitting there broken, letting everyone flow through untouched. Your first thought, even now, is that you could have saved your fare if you'd known. Then you smile at how absurd that sounds in your head. Allwyn's offices are at 37 to 39 Clarendon Road, and they said it's only a 10-minute walk from the station. As you leave, a shaft of sunlight hits your face again, bright and sudden, and a breeze presses lightly at the back, as if urging you forward. For a second, it almost feels like somebody's guiding you. Another absurd thought. Maybe not. You cross the road outside the station by a busy roundabout. Engines growling and tyres hissing on wet tarmac. You spot the Clarendon Road sign to your left, only just visible, dulled by a smear of black traffic grime against the white sign. The pavements are pale tiled and a bit slippery from earlier rain. People bustle past with that weekday look in their eyes. Electric scooters whir straight toward you, too close, then slide away at the last second. You weave through slower pedestrians and walk a little faster than you need to along the 500-yard stretch to number 37. The Allwyn offices sit on the right. You step into a white paved concourse and see a steel and glass building with revolving doors catching the light ahead. Inside, the air feels warmer, polished, faintly scented, like somewhere that wants to impress without saying so. You approach the reception desk and see several girls in purple uniforms, all with immaculate hair, heavy makeup. The kind of lobby welcomes you almost like a hotel. You tell the most attentive girl that you have a meeting with Senior Advisor Andy Carter, and a small smile flickers across her face. You guess she knows exactly who you are and why you're here. The lobby is quiet, not dead quiet. More the kind of hush you get in places where everything is expensive and nobody wants to be the one to break the spell. There are soft, comfy seats in reception, the sort that hold you without swallowing you. One of the women behind the desk smiles and asks you to wait while Andy comes to see you. Your backside barely touches the seat before one of them comes over. She's short, petite, maybe 25, with that polished confidence people have when they're used to important rooms. She tells you she'll escort you to the winner's lounge. So they do know why I'm here. She leads you to a glass lift. The doors slide shut with a soft breath. Up you go, your reflection ghosting in the glass behind you, the city dropping away floor by floor. No more words are spoken as you travel upwards. On the 4th floor, you step out into another lobby, brighter, newer, pristine to the point of feeling unreal. And then along a short corridor to double wooden doors, panelled and heavy, as if they're guarding something sacred. Winner's Lounge, the plaque says. Your guide steps aside, opens the doors and beckons you in. The room is huge, quietly theatrical. There's a lottery ball machine standing there like a prop from somebody else's life, and glossy photo backdrops ready for grins that haven't even happened yet. The whole place feels like part lounge, part studio, part waiting room for a different universe. Andy's there, short, chubby, a smart suit that fits him perfectly, the kind of suit that means business without trying too hard. He comes towards you with an easy warmth, shakes your hand and holds it just for a second longer than normal. A small human anchor in a moment that doesn't quite feel human. There are 3 other people in the room. Andy gestures towards them, says their names. You try to catch them, but you don't register straight away. Your attention lands instead on the woman holding a bottle of champagne and a cluster of glasses. She stands behind a round glass table like she's been waiting for you all morning. It's still morning, but you take a flute when it's offered. Andy takes one too, but you notice he doesn't drink it. The champagne is cold enough to sting your fingers. The glass is spotless and bright. You sip. The taste is sharp, acidic, alive. It makes you wince a little and then smile at the strangest thought. It feels like Christmas morning, the only other time you'd ever drink champagne this early for no reason at all. It fizzles on your tongue, tiny electric bubbles, and you swallow, feeling the cold line of it travel down into your throat. Small talk follows, your journey, the weather, how you might be feeling. And it goes on quite too long. Every word feels like cotton wool padding. You know why you're here. They know why you're here. Why don't you just get on with it? Andy seems to sense it too. He tilts his head as if hearing your thoughts without you saying a thing, and asks you to join him in the next room. Another big room. A meeting room this time though, with a long wooden table inlaid with lighter tones, neatly lit, polished so well it catches reflections like still water. You glance at the size of it and a ridiculous thought pops up. Well, why such a big table? Should I have bought my own staff that fill the chairs? You almost laugh at yourself. You sit. Chairs slide softly, controlled. Folders appear from nowhere, stacked like something official is about to happen. You catch a quick glimpse of Andy's watch as he reaches for his pen. Clearly expensive. You don't recognize it. One of the men you barely noticed earlier takes charge now. His voice is calm, smooth, the voice of someone who's said these words before. It doesn't take long at all before you're told again that you are the single winner of the massive jackpot prize. The amount is read out, steady and exact, right down to the last 29 pence. You hear the pennies, and the irony never gets old. Then it dawns on you. The documents you bought weren't to prove you're the winner. They already know that. These are for the bank account, a proper one. The sort of high interest, high security account designed for numbers this large. Clearly Allwyn don't want to drop this money into your nationwide savings account. They explain why, and you listen, nodding, taking it in. Everything over a certain amount isn't protected in standard high street accounts, and this is well past that line. So you need a new account with a new bank, plus a whole suite of perks and protections that sound like something from a world you've never lived in before. They tell you it will take 48 hours to set up. And your first overwhelming reaction is, well, disappointment. Even as it rises in you, you know how it sounds, but in your mind you'd expected to leave here today with millions sitting in your account, already solid and immediate. Instead, there's a delay, a careful, sensible delay, but it still feels like somebody's taken a breath away from you. They explain that the interest your money accrues is yours every day without you lifting a finger. It'll earn more than your job earned you last month, more than you ever expected a day could bring. All of this will come to you in about 48 hours. You think that your feeling of disappointment might seem ridiculous to some people, but not to Andy Carter. Andy has seen your look before. He doesn't flinch. He leans in slightly, gentle and practical, like he's helping you over a threshold. He suggests you might like to have, say, £100,000 transferred into an account of your choice right now. Oh, now you're talking, Andy. That's what happens. You hand him your bank card. There's more small talk, more form filling, pens scratching on paper, the quiet shuffle of a process unfolding. Half an hour passes in a strange blur where time stretches and snaps back again. Then you check your banking app, and there it is. £100,000. On the screen on your phone, it doesn't look wildly different from £1,000. It's just numbers, pixels, the same font, the same plain little layout. You actually have to focus on the zeros. Count them. Let your eyes settle on the decimal point before your body understands what it's seeing. £100,000. So you stare for a few seconds longer. Let that moment land. Imagine how it feels to know you've got 100 grand sitting in your bank right now. Imagine walking out of this building with the knowledge humming through you that you could buy almost anything you wanted on the way home. Anything. And by the time you got home, the interest from your jackpot would have already started filling the space back in, as if money has become something that grows around you naturally now. Soon you'll make your way home. eventually you'll make your way back to bed. You'll fall asleep. And when you wake, you'll know, not just in your head, but in your whole body, that you are a multi-millionaire.